April 25, 2006, Champions League semi-final. One penalty to send tiny Villarreal to their first European final. Juan Román Riquelme steps up and misses. This single moment reveals why football's most gifted artist became its greatest tragedy. A genius so pure that some fans and pundits argue he might have had more natural talent than even Messi. This is the story of Juan Román Riquelme, the forgotten football genius of Argentina. Before Europe knew his name, Buenos Aires worshipped him. In 1996, 18-year-old Riquelme made his Boca Juniors debut. Within months, La Bombonera felt something special. In 1998, Boca lifted the Apertura Championship under Carlos Bianchi, with Riquelme orchestrating the midfield. But the real magic came on the continent. Copa Libertadores 2000, the tournament that made him a legend. In the quarter-final Super Clásico versus River Plate, Riquelme delivered a masterclass. Then the final versus Palmeiras, May 2000, it ended 2-2 on aggregate, with Barca winning 4-2 on penalties. Every attack flowed through Riquelme's feet. He was 22 and had conquered South America. In 2001, he did it again, guiding Boca past Cruz Azul to another Libertadores title after a 1-1 aggregate draw and a 3-1 penalty shootout. The boy from Buenos Aires had become South America's most coveted talent. Then Europe called. In 2002, Barcelona signed South America's brightest magician. On paper, it was perfect. The club of beautiful football meets the most beautiful player. Reality, a disaster. Louis van Gaal demanded pressing, intensity, and robotic discipline. Riquelme offered pauses, vision, rhythm. It was like asking Mozart to play death metal. But this magic was heading toward European heartbreak that would define his entire legacy. Statistics tell the story: 42 appearances, 6 goals in all competitions. But numbers don't capture the real tragedy: watching a genius suffocate in the wrong system. Within months, he was benched, misunderstood, and pushed out. Van Gaal's Barcelona had no place for poetry. Picture this: a town of 50,000 people with zero European pedigree. Riquelme arrived on loan from Barcelona in 2003. By 2005 to 2006, Villarreal topped their Champions League group ahead of Benfica, Lille, and Manchester United. They held United to 2 draws, beat Benfica 1-0 and Lille 1-0. Quarter-finals, they stunned Inter Milan 2-2 on aggregate, advancing on away goals. Then came Arsenal in the semi-final. First leg at Highbury, Arsenal win 1-0. Second leg at Estadio de la Ceramica. The score is 0-0 on the night. The winner of this game will go on to face Barcelona in the final for a chance to win the most coveted trophy in all of Europe. At the heart of it all was Riquelme, painting football instead of just playing it. Every pass was a brushstroke, every pause pure artistry. He bent the game to his rhythm, making the ball obey laws of physics no one else imagined. Little did Riquelme know, one penalty would transform triumph into tragedy. Back to that penalty miss. It's the 88th minute, after being awarded a penalty kick to tie up the game on aggregate. Riquelme picks up the ball, he closes his eyes, kisses it for luck, and sets it on the grass. Time stops. The deafening cheers of the thousands of screaming fans go silent. Riquelme and Lehmann lock eyes, and for a brief moment, they are the only 2 people in the world, the only 2 people that matter. Riquelme takes a step back and then runs towards the ball. Lehmann saves it. With that, the game was over. The score was 0-0. Arsenal had won 1-0 on aggregate, and Villarreal had lost their best shot at winning the Champions League. Riquelme received a lot of hate for missing that penalty kick. Many fans and coaches considered him a difficult player to work with, and the criticism of his missed goal only exacerbated the situation. Afterwards, he complained, "I didn't kill anyone. All I did was miss a penalty," a statement that has been interpreted as petty and uncaring by some, but frustrated and full of self-loathing by others. In 2007, Riquelme shocked Europe by leaving Villarreal and returning to Boca Juniors on loan. La Bombonera erupted, 60,000 voices chanting his name. This wasn't just a transfer, it was a homecoming. The impact was immediate. Boca stormed through the 2007 Copa Libertadores, with Riquelme dominating the knockouts and the final against Grêmio. In 2008, Boca lifted the Recopa Sudamericana against Arsenal de Sarandí, with Riquelme scoring and assisting across the tie. 2 continental trophies in 2 years, the king had reclaimed his throne. Across his second Boca spell, 2007 to 2014, he made over 200 appearances and added multiple domestic and continental titles, reminding fans why they called him a genius. Riquelme was the last of a dying breed, the classic South American Enganche, the virtuoso who didn't score 50 goals but made everyone around him score 20. His Boca legacy tells an emotional story. Nearly 400 total appearances across both spells, 81 goals, but more importantly, 3 Copa Libertadores titles that made Boca fans weep with joy. His final Boca match in 2014, La Bombonera erupts in a 20-minute standing ovation. Grown men cried because he gave them something statistics can't measure: magic. While football evolved into pressing machines and power athletes, he clung to something more precious: pure football intelligence. Watch his highlights, not the goals, but the passes. That impossible through ball against River, the no-look assist in the Libertadores final, moments that redefined what football could be. So why isn't Riquelme mentioned alongside Maradona and Messi? Why is Argentina's most gifted playmaker their most overlooked star? The numbers reveal the tragedy. 1 Ballon d'Or nomination in 2005, 0 World Cups, 0 Champions League titles. But context matters. He chose loyalty over glory. While Kaká chased Milan's riches and Ronaldinho conquered Barcelona, Riquelme returned home to make La Bombonera believe in dreams again. His complete European record: 187 Villarreal appearances, 45 goals, 32 assists. Respectable numbers that hide the real story: how he made a small Spanish town believe they could conquer Europe. That penalty miss against Arsenal wasn't just a missed kick. It symbolized football's turning point. The artist is being pushed aside for the machine, yet his influence endures. Argentine coaches still teach the Riquelme pause, that moment of stillness that creates chaos for opponents and defensive structures. Today's football is faster, stronger, and more tactical. Average sprint speeds have risen, and pressing intensity has doubled. But something is missing: the pause, the breath, the moment of pure creativity. Riquelme was that moment personified. At Boca, his number 10 jersey isn't retired, but revered. The club unveiled his statue outside La Bombonera, inscribed, "To the last romantic of football." Appointed Boca's vice president in 2019, he's now shaping the next generation, teaching them that football isn't just about running faster or pressing harder, but about thinking differently. Some players score goals, others win trophies. A rare few change how you see football forever. Juan Román Riquelme never conquered the world stage. He never won a Ballon d'Or. He never became the global icon many predicted. But he did something more important. He reminded us that football, at its heart, is art. And true art is never forgotten. It's just waiting to be rediscovered. In today's game, do we need more Messis or more Riquelmes? The answer might decide whether the game remains beautiful or becomes just another business. If this story of football's most beautiful tragedy moved you, let us know by hitting that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps us bring you more legends of the game, because every forgotten genius deserves to be remembered.